Hey, Segovia, back with another video. Hope everyone out there is having a good day, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We got a good reaction coming up for you guys to sit at home, relax, chill, have a drink, a coffee, a water, whatever you're doing. Let me know down below, but I ain't going to talk too much. We'll save that for the end of the video. Enough with the chit chat. Let's get into the reaction. Enjoy the show.
We don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well. Government has only two ways of getting money other than raising taxes. It can go into the money market and borrow, competing with its own citizens and driving up interest rates, which it has done, or it can print money, and it's done that. Both methods are inflationary. We're victims of language. The very word inflation leads us to think of it as just high prices. And then, of course, we resent the person who puts on the price tags, forgetting that he or she is also a victim of inflation. Inflation is not just high prices. It's a reduction in the value of our money.
This is the most evil generation since the inception of man. Worse than the flood, worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that we can instantly communicate with everybody around the world. And we are propagating sin in a way we never used to. If you wanted to have a sexual sin, you had to go do it with somebody. But now we can just open a phone and do things on the phone. And Los Angeles is #1 exporter of pornography to the whole world. We should be not only ashamed of that statistic as Americans, but fearful for the kind of things that they're opening up to the country with that kind of filth, with the demonic world. And then you look at the rest of Hollywood. I just saw Nicole Kidman has a new movie coming out who alleges to be Catholic. They almost gave it an X rating in our day and age. Imagine that. So they had to cut stuff to get it down to R. But she has a preoccupation. It's having an affair, but also preoccupation with sex with animals. So we're going to a whole new level. And this is a mainstream film.
Yeah.
Now, was that the movie that came out during Christmas time? Because remember, there was no Christmas movies that came out. There was one, Jack Black, Satan. I think that Nicole Kidman movie came out during Christmas too. Strange times, y'all. Strange times.
This shit is crazy, fool. And this man's face is making it even crazier. The shit he said to this little kid, you don't say that shit, bruh. Not even as a joke.
How old are you? Oh, okay, only to 10.
Not The Rock. This man in on it too. But then again, it makes sense because after the WWE, this man became a star in Hollywood. Make it make sense, y'all. Now you ask yourself, for the people that be like, he was just joking, would you say that to a kid? I done seen people say, I fight kids. I ain't never heard somebody say they. Y'all gotta realize, bruh, they be doing this shit right in our faces. And it be people like you that be like, bro, he didn't really mean it. Or you really think that can happen? People really do that? Look at the world. You know how evil the world is? So why is it hard for you to believe something like that can happen? Just because that's your favorite wrestler? As always, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. This shit crazy, fool.
One of the first original public clones was Michael Jackson.
What?
Yes. So if you take a look at Michael Jackson, right? Oh, he had plastic surgery. This is why they're making plastic surgery really popular, quote unquote, because they can basically deduce, oh, the celebrity had plastic surgery. It's not a clone, it's plastic surgery. That's why they look different, right? So Michael Jackson was their first sort of test run for cloning, and specifically the reason why they replaced him with a clone was because he was saying too much.
Took Michael Jackson to the party. Okay. In some kind of way, in the party, it was induced and Michael Jackson OD'd.
Really? In 1979?
1979.
So you saying did he pass away in 1979?
So I wasn't there. But
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what I heard. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Michael Jackson was deceased in 1979. When Las Vegas found out about it, they said they could not have a pop icon die in Las Vegas. They had just lost the R&B king, Elvis Presley, 1977. They said it would be bad business. So I understood they went to the Jackson family and told them what happened, and that you got other sons. If we say this about Michael, then it'll ruin you. You'll be back in Gary, Indiana. Allegedly. All of a sudden in 1979, he's doing a commercial and a fire happened and his hair caught on fire.
Was that in 79? That was in the 80s, wasn't it?
1979.
In 79, his hair caught on fire?
1979, the Pepsi commercial.
Wow.
So he was in hibernation rehabilitating, so they said that they had lookalikes because they were recreating a Michael Jackson and making a clone.
Wow.
What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think? I mean, it sounds way out there, but it could be true because he went from looking one way to a whole different skin color, a whole different face. So it could be. What do you guys think?
If we talk conspiracy theory, we're just talking conspiracy theories, right? Who saved them? People be like, God. Your first thing is, yo, God saved this guy. I don't think God would save somebody who moves like that. I don't think God would save somebody who disrespects his own family and is just everything you think of 50 is just negative. He's just an engine of negativity, beef, chaos. Sounds like he's with Satan to me, man. You know, Satan was like, I'm gonna use you. You're gonna be great for me. You know, Satan is the angel of music. You know the story of Satan?
Satan is the angel of music?
Satan was an angel.
Well, I know he was an angel.
He got
He was
banished.
a fallen angel.
Right. He got banished because he thought he was bigger than God. And he banished him to hell. It's the story of a rapper who sells his soul to the devil to gain the heights of fame and fortune.
Are you saying?
Like, I sold my soul for people to pay attention.
Do you feel like you sold your soul?
I had to. Do I feel like I'm blessed from God? Yes. Am I God-fearing man? Yes. Do I go to church here and there? Yes. Do I believe in God? Yes. Unfortunately, I feel like I've done some sinful things.
I'm not gonna do nothing.
It's not worth it.
I know.
Right?
No.
A photo doesn't cost your life.
Wait, we can't take photos?
The more we attract the photos, everyone's taking photos.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's gonna attract up to take more photos.
Okay.
Closer and closer to the fucking picture, and that's our life.
Yeah. So what do you recommend?
We show our peace to make peace.
Should I go back or stay here? Okay.
Like, what do you guys think of all these protests? Now, I saw some in Arizona, out there at the Capitol, and then on 43rd in McDowell out there in Maryville, there's a dude, Lizard Hunter, that goes out there and, you know, interviews and stuff on his e-bike. To me, it looked like people are out there just to party. They're all young kids. A lot of them were out there looking for trouble. There was fights breaking out. People were smoking. People were drinking out there, like doing donuts. Like, it was kind of embarrassing. Like, if you're out there for positivity, but you're doing all this negative, like people that were on the fence, like, I don't know how I feel. Like, if it was me, like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I kind of feel bad for them. I kind of don't. And then I watch a video like that and see people out there fighting and doing drugs and drinking and doing donuts in the street and, you know, shooting off guns. Like, I would be like, you know what? I'm not for this. I don't like this. What do you guys think? Especially all my Latino men and women out there. What do you guys think of all this? If you've seen the videos, I haven't really seen what's going on in LA. I just watched the Arizona ones. And to me, I was like, man, that's ridiculous. Like, what I told my girl, like, I would not want you to send me to the store to get some diapers or some formula during that time, because it was chaos, y'all. There was fights breaking out everywhere, people doing donuts. It was dangerous out there. So that's something I don't support. It's like that one book. What was that book? The Wild Things, I think it was called. I need to get that book from my boy. I forgot about that book.
To me, this is what the lawsuit is all about. The lawsuit is Drake don't need no more money. Like, he doesn't want that song performed on the biggest stage in the world.
In America, sure, yeah.
So the only way to stop that, because Kendrick is going to be employed by the National Football League and Fox and all these. They don't want them legal problems. They don't want to be wrapped up in, you know, hours and hundreds of millions of dollars of legal bills. So they're going to say, Mr. Lamar, if you want to perform, you can't perform this song because it's a legal matter, because there's been a cease and desist sent to the NFL, sent to Fox.
So it's bigger than K-Town at this point.
Yeah, sent to the city of New Orleans, that if this song that is referenced is played in here that we're gonna sue the city, we're gonna sue the state, we're gonna sue the NFL, we're gonna, and like they're gonna say you can't perform that song. And then in Drake's mind, that's a win.
Like that's where we're at in the hip hop world. Your diss record went viral. His diss record went viral. What was that? Back to back. Remember that? I forgot who he was even dissing. Was it Meek Mill? You didn't throw a fit about it. Your thing went viral. And I'm sure you paid for that to go viral. That's what they do. That's how Drake's #1. He paid to get #1. He pays to get his records all over the place and in your earphones. He pays for that, you know? So if Kendrick Lamar ain't performing that song, what is he going to perform? What is he going to perform?
Are these animals acting weird lately? I got something to show you. It's my puppy Morpheus. Taking our daily walk. We do this every single day. We're here in the armpit of Ohio. And ordinarily, he is on a 15-foot lead and ordinarily takes the whole 15 feet. But all day today, he hasn't done anything but stay, I don't know, at the most 5 or 6 feet away from me. Is anybody else's animals doing things like this? This is really weird. He's also acting like he's on high alert. He keeps looking up and around to see what's around him. But there isn't anything around. We're just in a park. It's really weird. Let me know if your animals were doing the same thing.
Now, I've noticed my beagle has been very skittish lately. After seeing that clip, it made me think, like, he's been very skittish. And I also feel bad. Like, I don't really have time no more to play with my dogs or give them love. Like, I try to as much as I can. But this baby, like right now, y'all, it's 5:40 in the morning. I woke up at 3, had my coffee. I'm like, I gotta get this video done while the baby's asleep because time is flying. He's up every 3 hours to eat. That 3 hours, every 2 hours pretty much, because it takes him about an hour to eat, burp, fall back asleep. So every 2 hours that baby's up. So my time's flying. Like I don't have time. Like time's crunch now. So I got to make sure. Today I was up, fed him at 3. I told my girl, you know what, I'm gonna stay up, which has to do a little bit with the diet, right? I've been doing good because I don't have that option now when my lady's gone to be like, I'm gonna go get some hot Cheetos. I can't do that with the baby, right? So I just eat, whatever's in the refrigerator or some leftovers, which is a good thing. I've been doing good, been dropping weight. So that's why I'm up at 3 in the morning with energy right now for you guys because, the diet.
Around the Super Bowl just got a lot tighter. The White House confirmed today that President Trump will be going to the big game. He'll be the first sitting president in history to do so. The Superdome in New Orleans seats 76,468 people, and one of those seats will be occupied by Donald Trump.
President Trump will be in the stands this Sunday at the Super Bowl. The first time ever a sitting president will attend the big game. Lisa Guerrero is in New Orleans.
With the president coming to town, you can bet security, which is already tighter than ever, is getting beefed up even more. This city is still on edge after the deadly Bourbon Street terror attack just 35 days ago. And many of the streets downtown are barricaded, closed to traffic.
Tax is a big issue for me. I don't like taxes. I don't understand taxes. When I hear people in the Western world pay 40, 50, 60% tax, it's like you work 5, 6 months, 7 months of the year for free, basically. That's what you're telling me. For what? For no safety, average education, below average healthcare. It's like, why are you even doing that? It's like, we don't pay tax in the UAE, but we get the most safest places in the world. We get amazing healthcare, and educating here is superb. Yes, we pay for it, but if you make the math, it's cheaper here than there. Tax is a big.
You look up the word queen, right? In an etymological dictionary, you know what the fucking word means? Whore. Whore! It's the king's whore.
Now, this is my theory now. Okay, y'all see the Kansas City Chiefs right here, right? Now, you see the lights at the bottom of the house. The lights right here. They just 3 straight lines. 3 straight lines, right? That's Kansas City, right? Now, you go to the game day. That's supposed to be the, the dome they playing Super Bowl in.
Arrowhead.
Okay. No, Arrowhead. That's in Kansas City. That's Kansas City. Arrowhead is Kansas City. They playing New Orleans. Yeah, they playing New Orleans. All right, that's the Kansas City house right there. See the 3 little lines? It's shaped like a fucking 3 little lines, of course. All right, now you go to the Super Bowl. Now you go to the Eagles' house. What them lights look like? They look like W's, right? Go Eagles, like a W, right? That's the bell right there. Hey, listen, man, it's just my thing now. I don't know if Roku telling it. It's just me. I don't know.
You had a guy who couldn't talk publicly. You had a vice president who couldn't speak publicly. I know the girl in the last administration, the secretary of whatever the hell she was, that goes out and does the press conferences. She's taking a lot of heat, but could you imagine having that job during the Biden administration?
No.
It had to be absolutely brutal.
Horrifying.
Right? The girl's got to go out and lie pretty much every day. Any type of question that made sense, she would just shut it down and walk out and leave. I mean, that had to be the worst job in America. There couldn't be a worse job.
And she did the worst job you could do.
Yeah.
At the worst job.
With what she had to work with, I actually feel bad for that woman. Cut that woman some slack, please. I mean, imagine that's your job, that you have to go out during that administration and face the media every day.
That's true. Tough. Crazy, y'all. Be thankful for what, we have. Could always be worse. Myself included. Sometimes I get stressed out and it could always be worse.
This is what it looks like when you attempt to climb Mount Tai in China, which is one of the tallest mountains in Asia. In order to reach the top, you have to climb more than 6,600 steps. It usually takes around 5 hours to complete, and it's not for the weak, as some people even need to be carried down by medics. But the view definitely makes it worth it. Would you dare to undertake this extraordinary adventure?
I'm not a fan of that type of hiking, like concrete, stairs, a road. I like some dirt, some rocks under my feet when I'm hiking. Like there's a set of stairs in Arizona out there in Verrado, kind of towards Buckeye, and it's, the Victory Stairs. I've done it once. I was like, I don't like stairs. Like if I want to run stairs, I'm gonna go run the bleachers at the high school. I like running mountains with dirt, rocks under my feet. That's how I like to do it.
What do all these women have in common? They're all warning you to watch out when you're in Nashville. Germantown. Nashville downtown. Y'all be careful. It's happening. Stuff's happening. And it's not good stuff. And these are just a few of the videos I've seen. People talking about being downtown. People talking about people being roofied. People talking about SA and all this other stuff. And one girl was even talking about her ride that she got, her paid ride. I don't remember if it was Uber, Lyft, or who, but she was almost assaulted because of that ride. She was almost stolen. So be careful. Keep your wits about you. Be safe. It's a dangerous time. I love you, and I want you to be safe. Keep your head on the swivel, ladies. Put it in your search bar and check it out for yourself. It's not good. The news is not good.
So there's breaking news about the horrific crash over the Potomac. So the female pilot that was flying the helicopter, what we've learned is that the helicopter was flying nearly twice as high as it should have been. And it was up to 1 mile off course. Was warned multiple times not to be in this area. The video shows that there was no evasive maneuvers when the collision was imminent. So either they wanted the collision to happen, which I do not believe, or that they were so bad at flying and they had night vision on and they were so distracted that, boom, they went right into a moving aircraft. And that is the other important thing to remember, that it was a moving target, which means, definitionally, an interception is actually much harder because you must time up two simultaneously very fast-moving objects in the air at the same altitude at the same time. And the more that we learn, the more we realize this was so preventable.
And she says this, and this is really scary.
Let me see.
Because she's talking about Kendrick Lamar.
She always talks truth, though.
She talks truth?
Yes.
Well,
she talks
this
truth.
prediction would be crazy if it happens.
She always talks
But
truth.
hopefully this doesn't happen.
Sacrifice Kendrick. Don't say that.
Hold on.
They're gonna try to sacrifice Kendrick.
Oh,
Don't say that. Don't say that. I do. I'm out here on the West Coast. I'm in California.
This is Jaguar Ray, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I think
think they're gonna try to sacrifice Kendrick.
I don't.
I think that's what the Super Bowl is all about.
Crazy.
No. And I don't want to hear you say that because what you be saying, it be coming to pass.
Yes, fam.
Like we gotta cast that down. We gotta like not Kendrick.
Oh wait, so is she saying that?
Person to root right now. Man, that hurt my soul. You hurt my soul.
That's a good point. Who would be a crazy person to remove right now? No, but is she saying like sacrifice? You know, like in this big Super Bowl commercials, they start pushing out all that demonic stuff.
Yeah.
You think that sacrifice in a way that he's just gonna show that he's switching sides or like show that he's on that side for sure. I don't believe he's actually gonna get like done.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
This is just what she's saying. I'm just hearing what she's saying.
Yeah.
They want him. They want him gone.
Oh my god, why is she so creepy when she talks?
He's waking too many people up. He's talking pure facts. You know.
That's crazy.
People look at Kendrick like he's just another rapper. Truth is he's an artist who knows how to rap very well. He is an artist first, but he is a true believer in
Take Tupac.
Yeah.
I've never seen.
That's true. When you start speaking the truth and getting a big following, like he blew up from that one song, and you start speaking the truth, things start happening, y'all. Things start happening to those type of people that got a big following and speak the truth.
This miserable, this unhappy, and it's not even anxious. He looked like he was worried that the world is going to find us something weird. By the way, today I got a very weird minette from a guy who says, hey, I just want to tell you what I think is going to be happening. I said, what's that? I don't know if it's true or not. Okay. He says, I think there's going to be a lot of people taking their lives. I said, what? He said, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are in there the last 4 years that they know they're going to be exposed, and you're going to see. What are you talking about? Oh, by the way, that thought has never crossed my mind until he sent me this minute this morning, and I'm responding to it.
That's awful.
And I said, where are you going with this? So he's saying, look, if the truth comes out of what they did and who was involved the last 4 years, that becomes public, how do you face your wife? By the way, this is kind of like what people did in the stock market a day after 9/11. That's money. You lost everything, right? Here, if any of these guys, the look they gave, when I watched some of their faces, it was a look of somebody that's worried about something being exposed to the world and their legacies being affected and their kids, family, everybody who ever supported them, knowing you did something wrong.
There is a portal opening up in front of my house right now. Yep. Yo, it's getting brighter and brighter. Oh my God. Jay, Naira, Kenzo, it's like a portal. It's 100% a portal. Google it, ChatGPT it, look up portal, and look at that fucking thing and tell me that's not a fucking portal. It is a portal. It's round. It's coming out of the light. It's a fucking portal. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Look at the circle, though. You see... Who should I ask?
I guess it's probably a good time to talk about this. There was some book about the Kamala Harris campaign where they talked about her getting on this show. And they said a bunch of things that weren't true. One of the things they said that weren't true was that we lied about the day that Trump was coming on. No, we just didn't tell you that Trump was coming on. He was already booked a long time ago. This is how it worked. Trump was really easy to book. We offered one day. He said yes. That was it. There was no, what are we going to talk about? How long is it going to be? Is it going to be edited? There was nothing. There was another thing. They said that the reason why they did the Beyonce thing was so that they could be in Texas to do my show. They never agreed to do the show. They also said that they sent someone down here to the studio to do a walkthrough of the set. That's not true.
But it seems that...
Like, if she would have went on there, I don't think it would have been that good because she wanted to edit it just like this 60 Minutes clip. It would have just been straight politic answers. Like, at least with Trump, they were just talking about just random things, like just talking life, getting to know the person. But with her, it would have been like talking to a machine, I think. Like, I don't think it would have helped helped her case much if she would have went on there, unless she went on there. But can you picture her talking about aliens, or are you gonna release the drone stuff or anything like that? Could you picture her talking like that? Like every time we see her talk, it's always political.
Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
If the sun was below the firmament, then it would reflect off the dome and create a sun-like dome reflection above your head.
It's called the saltine cracker test. It's super accurate. You take a saltine cracker, put it in your mouth. How quickly does it turn from salty to sweet in your mouth? So for me, it takes about 30 seconds. My brother's girlfriend takes 5 seconds. That means she has more amylase. So genetically, she can process carbs better than me. So for her, higher carb diet's healthy. For me, lower carb diet. But that's not being taught on social media. It's just wacky people on both sides. The truth is very nuanced. And that's the problem. The mass media is wrong, but the response is a lot of people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about that read 2 articles on food and now they're dietitians versus you should talk to experts.
But we lost the Vietnam War because they had fucking tunnels. It was crazy. They dug all these tunnels, lived in there for 20 years basically while they fought the US. And even though the US had so many weapons and so many bombs, and we had an entire department of the military that was designed to make experimental weapons just to try on Vietnam, like different types of bombs and all this shit. And we're throwing everything we have and all of our military budget at Vietnam. And what they had was fucking tunnels. That was it. They just lived in the tunnels and they absolutely murked the US, just fucking destroyed it. And they were so smart with how they did it. Like the craziest thing was learning how the US would drop bombs, but not all of them would explode, right? You have a couple dud bombs. The Viet Cong would then take those dud bombs, cut them in half, turn those into tank mines. So then all the tanks rolling in to fuck them up, they would then blow up all the US tanks. And then once the tank was blown up, they would cut it open and remove the electrical generators out of the tanks and then use that to light the tunnels that they were living in. So everything we threw at Vietnam, they just were so scrappy, they took it and then used it against us for 20 years and then just fucking destroyed us and then we had to leave.
Fucking, what the fuck? They just probably buried somebody.
Record that. What is going on? What's on the front of it?
What? It's black.
What the babe? Where's the
binoculars?
This video captures a chilling scene deep in Montana's vast, isolated landscape. A suspicious white van with blacked out windows and an ominous matte black hood sits eerily out of place on what appears to be private ranch land. The creator describes unsettling activity around the van, people moving strangely as if hiding something. They claim the site was investigated, but by the time authorities arrived, there was nothing left. No signs, no trace. Some viewers joke it's just van life, while others believe this could be linked to something far more sinister. A cover-up, a crime scene, or even a hitman's van.
That's weird as fuck.
But here's where things get even stranger. Sharp-eyed commenters noticed what looks like something, or someone, wrapped up near the van, partially hidden by the terrain. Could it be a coincidence, or could this be evidence of something more disturbing? The van was never identified, and the original poster hasn't provided any solid updates. So, what do you think? A simple misunderstanding, or something much darker happening here? You decide.
The White House is preparing an executive order to abolish the Federal Department of Education. This would just be such a remarkable win for the country. I mean, just a win for education, a win for the taxpayer. There's just nothing but wasted money and totally at the expense of children's education to have this ridiculous socialist model of centralized control over the indoctrination of children. Like, why? It makes no sense. And by the way, I will go a step further and say public school in general makes no sense. When it comes to education, there is this idea that the government must do it. The idea that you're going, hey, there's poor people and they can't afford school, so the government comes in and gives it to them. That is just not what happens. That's not actually true. The truth is that when in all of these neighborhoods, even in like poor communities, in poor neighborhoods, in poor towns, the people there are paying taxes. They're paying for the schools. What the government is doing is stealing your money from you and then coming in, paying a whole bunch of bureaucrats 6-figure salaries, and then with the crumbs that are remaining, giving you these government schools.
UV light. Now, I can say one thing about public school that I went through. From first to half of sixth grade, kindergarten actually, first to half of sixth grade, I was in a not the nicest area type of school. I was honor roll, A's, B's, maybe a couple C's. I was doing good. I was on, I was doing real good. Moved to a nicer area, to a nicer school, middle of sixth grade. They were light years ahead of where the poor section was at. I never caught on. All the way through high school, I barely got by, y'all. Barely. F's, summer school. I went from honor roll in the poor section, and then I went to the nicer section. Anyone that's familiar with the West Side, I went from Avondale School District to the Litchfield School District. I went from getting honor roll to F's, D's. I never caught up, y'all. Never caught up. So that's a conspiracy in itself, right? That they teach the poor communities something different than they teach the richer communities. Something I went through myself.
Lowers blood pressure. UV light increases the efficiency of the heart. UV light improves EKG. UV light balances cholesterol. UV light assists in weight loss. UV light is a treatment for skin conditions. UV light is also an effective treatment for many disorders. Going back to light therapy of 1933 in Germany, where they used to heal people with light. Then you go, UV light increases the level of hormones. People suffering from low testosterone or altered estrogen sitting in the sun. Then we go, UV light activates important skin hormones such as vitamin D, natural sources. Now, why do they tell people to stay out of the sun? Because all these industries exist to keep making money on the people. And if you tell people that UV is toxic and you better stay out of that sun, well, then these industries continue to keep just going about. And that's what we see. Because these industries have been going on for a long time. About 100 years of being told lies. And all we're doing, debunking it one step at a time.
More bad news with tattoos. I told you these things are bad. Listen, I did a video showing that a study that 21% chance of getting a malignant lymphoma with even small tattoos. Size did not matter in that case. But listen to this. This ink has heavy metals in it. Mercury, lead, arsenic, cadmium, and even aluminum. And where they inject it, it can stay locked in that dermis and it can cause problems in the lymphatic system, the liver, and even cross the blood-brain barrier, meaning you're constantly being poisoned by the toxins. Oh, by the way, the study also showed that half the inks that they tested have an avo-containing dye that when exposed to UV sunlight, it becomes very causing. So look, the risk is not worth it. The fact is removing these tattoos actually removes the chances of continued toxicity. There's the suggestion.
The Ellen situation.
Yeah.
People found out that Ellen was mean and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually a fucking bitch. And then we're like,
yeah.
I can't believe it. And she lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared. Because people found out that this character that she was portraying in a half an hour on a television show is not really who she was.
Crazy.
But I hadn't already known that because I had a buddy who worked for her. And he was like, she's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, was like, she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I didn't know enough to be surprised.
The last 4 Super Bowls, when they predicted the colors, when they put the colors on, and where it's going to be, and they do the Roman numerals in the city, they'll put so this year it was New Orleans, and it was set up a year ago, and it has the ampersands or whatever that thing is.
The fleur-de-lis.
Excuse me. And the color of the Super Bowl logo was green and red. Eagles, Chiefs. And if you look back for the last 4 Super Bowls, it is color reflective.
Wait, the Chiefs going to Super Bowl again?
Yeah, and the Eagles. Yeah, dude, that's what I thought you knew.
Oh, you know, I do.
So the last 4 Super Bowls are the same color scheme as the teams. Wow. And so people have said this is now predictive. So there are a lot of things, like if you really wanted to make football or any sport 100% real, you would take all humans out of it and just let the human players play, and all officiating would be AI.
Yeah.
Okay, keep it quiet.
I'm not sure when this photo was taken, but this is a photo of the U.S. flag outside of the U.S. State Department being flown upside down at full mast. That is generally known as a distress signal or a sign of danger. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure 100% when it was when it was taken, but it was posted about an hour ago, and I don't see any news reporting on this. I don't know what this means, but it seems very significant.
I'm out here in Merida on one of these roofs with the water tank. Good view. It's like the world is closed in. It's like you can only see so far. What's up with that?
Y'all need to pay attention. Your focus can keep people safe. Y'all, I'm telling you, this is so big. If you get what I'm saying, I went back and forth about posting this, and I'll get into why in a second. We'll also get into what you saw on the screen a minute ago as well. So for some reason, the spotlight is stalking Justin Bieber again. But I fear this time there may be a purpose. I'm having to situate myself certain places on the screen to keep this video allowed. But there is something significant right behind my head, and it says, if you're reading this, then it's already too late. This is a music video that Justin Bieber did last year, and there's subliminals throughout the entire video. If you're reading it, then it's already too late, meaning subliminally they know why you would go back and decode his videos. Please tell me you understand. I'm telling you, you need to go look at the still frames from this video. Same video, here's Justin, look what's on his face, what's going on right now? Which tells us now was the time the video was pointing to. The symbolism. Regardless what you hear, the owl is Moloch, and Moloch is the future form of Baal. People who say otherwise are just wrong. I've been studying this up for 13 years. And right here we see, of course, 2 demons on his shoulders. You do know this is actually physical though, right? Not all things are in the spiritual. And the graphic design on his shirt. Look, Justin is a victim and he doesn't even like people making videos about him. But like I said at the beginning, you watching him can keep him safe. Making sure everyone's aware of the subliminals so they keep eyes on him can keep him safe. And pray for this man, he needs it.
Breaking, Jeffrey Epstein was receiving payments from USAID, the same department that Doge just got rid of. In 2023, Jeffrey Epstein getting payments from USAID. Elon Musk and Doge is doing a great job. There's going to be so much to come to light. I am so ready for it. Let's go.
I'm not fat shaming anybody, but why do I need to buy Dunkin' Donuts?
Ridiculous.
Conditioner and shampoo that smells like donuts?
It can be good for you. None of it is, but especially
I
that.
got fatter just looking at these. Oh yeah, deodorant too.
Look at this. From the sky, when you look at it, like as far as the eye can see, just destruction. Everything's got a missile hole in it. Everything's collapsed. Everything's fucked up. Every now and then, like one house or one building in between is untouched.
It's crazy.
But most of it is fucking destroyed.
Wiped out that whole
If I was
country.
the guy who lived next door to that house
City.
that's perfect, I'd be like, who did you pay, motherfucker?
And you're not thinking right now. You're following orders. You're not thinking for yourself. You're not in touch with your soul. Because if you were, you would take that off and you would breathe freely, which is the #1 form of nutrition. And if you don't have proper oxygen, you can't have cognitive function. And if you can't think right, you're easily pushed around and controlled and manipulated.
Like, why is this guy still
The orbs are being
in charge?
It's a created intelligent being that watches us, that monitors all life on this planet. That's what they do.
So that would be like the little humanoid beings that you saw 18 years ago tomorrow. Those are what come out of
Yes. Yeah. And the
orbs.
cool thing is I have video of that. So nobody can tell me I'm not right about it. And everybody's wondering, how did you get into NASA? Why were you there? Why were you studying with them? What was their interest in me? Why did they need me? When I ask them, why do you need me? Why do you want me here? You've got rockets, you've got space shuttles, you've got satellites, you've got the space station, all the money and technology and telescopes in the world. And they're like, we know they like you and they communicate with you and they don't have nothing to do with us at all. And we'd like to know why, what it is they want, and why it is they're harassing their astronauts.
Harassing them?
Harassing them. So has any astronauts ever seen an orb? All of them.
No way.
All of them.
Really?
Yep.
So how do they see them? How do they appear to them?
They would appear outside the space shuttle, look in the windows at them, stand up over the shuttle bay or the space station, glowing. Sometimes there's a report of a half a dozen of them, 125 feet tall with wings, standing there smiling at them.
Wow.
So for 18 years, I never talked about this, and this is the first time publicly.
So we're talking about things that come out of the orbs.
Angels, angelic beings, created beings. They're made of energy, but in a ball of light. But out of that ball of light comes a glowing being. Sometimes they're 6-7 feet tall or taller.
Or 125 feet tall.
Yep.
So I brought my AI glasses to the Church of Scientology to see the world through the eyes of AI. Let's go by the building. I don't know, bro. There's always something weird going on over here. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
cancel, bro. I don't know. This is too creepy, bro. I don't know, bro. Like, having these on creeps me out, bro. I'm out of here.
Y'all would not believe how much snow Japan just got. This picture behind me is not even doing justice. So the other day, Japan received so much snow within 12 hours, it reached up to 47 inches.
Crazy.
Yes, 47 inches. Record breaking. It's not just shit happening in America. It's happening all around the globe. Y'all know this not normal. Let me know how this is normal. I'll wait. I never seen nothing like this, and they haven't seen anything like this either. Y'all, look at these videos. These people are literally shoveling out a tunnel just so they can have space to walk. Look at that shit, y'all.
Damn.
You see that? So y'all gonna sit here and tell me that's normal to get this much snowfall, and it's still snowing? So just imagine if he didn't start shoveling this shit out. That shit almost come up to his neck. So if they got that in 12 hours, just imagine if it started to snow again. That shit gonna be over all their heads. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Don't forget to share this, because like I said, this is not normal at all. And that's why
it's crazy. Just last week here, the overnight low was like 15 degrees. I had my pipes all covered up with towels, my plants. And this week, 80, 78, sunny, beautiful. I mean, I ain't complaining. I've been waiting. I'm not a fan of the cold, but I know it's coming back, y'all. But crazy weather all over the world, y'all. What's your guys' weather like? You guys cold? You hot? Let me know down below. That's crazy though, 47 inches in 12 hours. That's crazy.
Beyonce, 33. Most overrated artist of all time. Listen to what John Rich tweeted. Folks are asking me, how do music award shows work? He writes, labels and publishers all have blocks of votes. They make deals with each other. You vote for mine, we'll vote for yours type thing. It has zero to do with who made the best music, thus Beyonce with Country Album of the Year. Nice, right? The same thing is true with the CMAs, the ACMs, Billboard, etc. All work exactly the same. Last night, the Grammys outed themselves in a big way. We're not buying it. We know what happened and how she got this award and how she got her 33 Grammys when you've got 2 for the Judy Garlands of the world.
So I'm at this thrift store. Did I miss out on something that I should know? $199 for Cinderella, $100 for Little Mermaid, $140. What in the hell is going on? That's just Cinderella. I have like 3 of those. I have like 4 Snow Whites. And they're damaging them by putting rubber bands around them anyways. Look how badly that's fucking them up. Tesla, would you pay $199 for Cinderella?
No.
Can you watch it for free on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Ah, that's what I was thinking. So why buy a VHS whenever you could watch it for free? What the fuck? How much are those ones going for? 101 Dalmatians, 100.
That's crazy.
Sleeping Beauty, 150. Oh my god, that's insane. That is crazy.
Hey, alien.
I would have asked them, why are these so expensive? Because they're not selling for that much on eBay. Is there any thrifters out there? I used to, resell in Arizona. When I moved here, the thrift shops are just terrible. It's all garbage and they overprice everything. So kind of went out of business here. Do you guys do any thrifting? Because I go to the thrift shop still. They're just kind of junky out here. I don't do it like I used to. But you guys still making a profit out there thrifting? I think it's still possible, y'all. I think it's still possible to make a good profit thrifting if you got good thrift stores in your area. Because when I went to Arizona a couple months ago, we went to the Goodwills, and they're still pretty cheap and great stuff there. But out here, garbage, y'all.
Get this. Scientists have found at least 1,500 perfect circles deep on the ocean floor. All of them about 67 feet across, and they are not man-made. Most of them are located about 12 miles off the coast of Corsica, but we've also found them off the coast of Japan and Alaska, and there's no explanation yet. I'm not saying it's aliens, but they are in the hotbed of USO sightings, leading me to believe that they might be.
But certainly these crafts came from another, not just another planet, another solar system entirely, extremely far away, and they're here. It's true. What I have seen is true. I don't know about the big story, where they came from, what they're like. And
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
Do you believe, just for the record, that the federal government, any part of the federal government, is knowingly concealing evidence about UAPs from the public?
Yes, sir. 100%. Yes. Yes.
Have you seen the recent images that they got from Mars, that big square?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is that?
So it is a bad day to be a professional skeptic, I'm telling you what. If you've been you're living the last 20 years poo-pooing all the aliens and UFO shit and whatnot, man, oh man, is it a rough day for you. Because that same shit was LiDAR from the South American forest, you'd be like, yeah, there's probably a village there. That makes sense.
This is even more clear
that's
than
true.
LiDAR,
Yeah, I know.
right?
It's super
It's above the
square.
surface. They think the rough estimates of this square are between 300 meters and multiple kilometers. They don't know how big it is. It's because it's hard to get a reference.
Yeah.
So I think the estimate is, at the very smallest, it's several hundred meters across. It's really crazy because it's right angle, right angle, right angle, right angle. Yeah. This is the original image. Yeah. Just this alone, you're like, what the fuck?
Like
is
I said,
that?
if you were to tell me that was a LiDAR picture from South America, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. It's just too convenient that it makes a square. It just seems so weird.
It is.
I have a book here that just goes into everything about San Francisco. from the 1850s and the Great Fires of San Francisco. When the Great Fires were happening in San Francisco during the 1850s, it was Freemasons, Oddfellows, different orders who were having all these fires happen so that they could reset something and then take it over and then say it's theirs and everything else. But the more I've looked back into these books, the more I've seen that this has happened so many times in a row. I mean, even with the World Fairs situation, you know, when people are looking at the World Fairs and all these beautiful buildings, like a pyramid, for example, right there in Nashville, and then this building as well, which is pure stone. But all of this stuff has been reset multiple times. And I've started to realize that the more I would go back into the 1850s, it was like the people of the 1850s, like me and you right now, of let's say 2025 or whatever year it is, are seeing this and seeing it over and over again the same way they were seeing it. But they didn't even know that they were in this. So it's kind of like the more you get into this, unless awareness is created, which is happening, and I'm very thankful. Like, the internet just spreads things like crazy now. And now that, you know, allegedly there's no fact checkers and whatever, great things can happen to it.
Whatever you speak out loud actually has a lot of power. So when you say, I am beautiful, I am wonderfully made, your body goes into agreement with your words. Another thing that I want to emphasize is that your throat chakra is the bridge between your heart, your third eye. And so they are listening to the commands of the throat chakra. And so we have to be mindful that when we use our throat chakra, it is a reflection of what is going on in our heart chakra and what we can see. And it's vice versa as well. So we influence what goes on in the heart and in the mind, and our voice also impacts what goes on in the heart and mind. So we need to be mindful of all the dynamics involved in self-talk.
Vegans? Big believer in the power of I am. You can either have I am something positive or I am something negative. It's up to you what you want to use. But those three letters, the I am, very powerful. And if you figure out how to use them, you can change your life. I remember I had a therapist that helped me out with that because I used to be real negative when I was going through everything. And she had me write down, 10 I ams, like I am strong, I am whatever, I am lean, I am happy, I am strong, whatever. And I would put it, on my bathroom mirror. And every time I went in there, I would just read them real quick. And that helped out a lot, y'all. That helped change the mindset, because I had somebody write me a comment like, are you really schizophrenic? Like, I had a friend that, who went through that and he was in bad shape and that I seemed very grounded. Well, I did a lot of self-work. Of course, I got a good support system. My family got me through everything. Without them, I'd probably be on the corner of the street, being a statistic. But, working on yourself, doing little exercises like that, watching motivational clips on YouTube will, get you through a lot of tough times.
Of the leanest and healthiest people in the 80s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s. And then veganism exploded in popularity. And then so more and more people began to be vegan. A lot of them thought like, oh, veganism is healthier because it was. And then guess who found out that people were more vegan more often? Major grocery stores and food producers. And guess what they started doing? They started making processed vegan food. Not because processing is like some evil plan, because it makes the food cheaper and shelf life is greater. And guess what? Drum roll, it's tastier. And so now you have vegan chocolate cake, you got vegan fucking hot dogs, you got vegan pasta, you got vegan everything. Now it is no longer true to say that veganism is some kind of shortcut to health.
That's the same with keto. When I first started doing keto, there was no hamburger buns, no hot dog buns, no keto cakes, no keto chips, no keto nothing. It was meat, veggies, nuts, pretty much it. Now they got keto everything. And it's very easy to, be like, you know what, I'm gonna have a 0 net carb tortilla with my steak, or, I'm gonna have a little keto protein cookie, for dessert. And that right there, those are okay for, I feel like, when you're at your goal weight and just maintaining. But when you're trying to lose weight, those are not good, to eat. I mean, it's better than eating a Chips Ahoy cookie, of course, calorie wise. I'm not going to say health wise, but calorie wise. But if you're trying to lose weight, I would stay away from that. When you get your goal weight, I think they're okay to have in moderation and you'll maintain your weight. But if you're trying to lose weight, that's hard. I know from experience that's very hard to do.
Guy, it looks like his ranch just over there.
How you gonna prove to me it's round?
Have you
How
ever
we
been in a
gonna do
plane?
it? Huh?
Have you ever like flown?
Yeah, I flew
I
on
mean,
a plane.
you know about time
It looked
zones?
flat the whole time.
Really? You don't
It
see the
don't never
curvature?
look
You don't see the
curved.
curvature
It
of
don't
the
never
earth?
look curved.
Never? Ever?
No.
Looks a
You
little
know
curved.
it don't look curved.
It looks
You ain't
curved.
never saw out one of them little ass windows and saw enough fucking earth to see a curve. You didn't do that, man.
Okay, but you can't see the end of it. Like I'm saying, if you like go to the beach and look at the ocean, it stops at one point because of the curve. You can't keep going. Like if it was flat, you could keep seeing. You could pull out a telescope and see farther and farther.
You wanna know what's crazy? I could paint you a picture right now and draw a straight line, and you could say it looked like it curves.
That's a picture.
Exactly. That's what the fuck it looked like from where our ass is
We're
sitting.
really
You
having an
can't
argument
do
right
it.
now about
I'm just saying you
flat.
can't prove it.
Do you believe the Earth is flat?
Bro, I don't know.
You don't know.
Think about our picture from space.
So
How
you
many
think
pictures
that
we
all
got
these-
from space of
all
Earth?
these
We got
scientists
one
have been lying
picture.
to you.
We got one picture
NASA's
from
been
space.
lying to you the whole time.
They cap. We have one picture from space, bro.
We have lots of pictures.
And
from
we
space.
got mad interviews with these mogs saying, yeah, we never went to the moon.
Okay.
What about that? When they
So
old
all
ass,
the
when
people
they
who
old
go to-
ass get to just saying that.
All the people who go to space.
Show
And there's
me.
you've never seen a photo of the Earth.
I've never seen
You've
the
never seen a
footage.
video?
You can't show me nothing but one picture. It's one picture. Google it. It's all gonna be the same picture, bro. It's weird. You ain't never did the research.
There's a bunch of pictures of the Earth. Look at that. I just
That's all the same one.
That's
bro.
not the same
Some of those are graphics. Some of them is white cutouts. Look at that, bro. You're not looking at it. Some of them is 3D graphics, all type of shit. Kids made it. Go look at that shit. You can't find nothing but one picture.
the actual
and then you're gonna
clouds
have a
look
man on the
different in the
moon
different-
with different shadows going different ways and shit. Cause it's at a photo studio. It's cool. I'm just saying, when we gonna go up there for real?
Kuwait, they live like kings. The poorest person in Kuwait, they live like kings. And yet they're not paying. We make it possible for them to sell their oil. Why aren't they paying us 25% of what they're making? It's a joke.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not. But I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't. But, you know, I just probably wouldn't do it, Oprah. I probably wouldn't, but I do get tired of seeing what's happening with this country. And if it got so bad, I would never want to rule it out totally, because I really am tired of seeing what's happening with this country, how we're really making other people live like kings, and we're not.
What do you...
What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped.
Do you know why they want to destroy California so bad? Do you know who's buying up all the real estate in California? That's right. Chinese citizens are. Because their fucking economy is so unstable. As unstable as we think it is, theirs is way worse. So these guys come over here and they buy all the houses. They buy all the buildings. They don't care if the buildings rot. They don't care if the houses rot, because their money is more stable there than it would be over there. Okay, over there, it's at risk of being seized for them sneezing wrong. Over here, it's not. Okay, and when you look at the economy of the United States and you say, well, the economy is doing really good, it's propped up by money coming from overseas. The American people are getting crushed. No citizens from any other country, especially adversaries like China, should be able to own property.
Now, I know damn well it's been over a whole month since it snowed, right? It's done rained for 3 days. It's been hot in the fucking 70s. And this shit still ain't melted. Man, what is they putting in our atmosphere? That just don't make no sense.
All right, family. There you have today's reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys like these sound effects. I made some upgrades to the man cave. Y'all got a nice stream deck right here. It's dope. I'm still figuring out. We'll be making a lot more cooler things with that. But, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. We try to do daily uploads. Sometimes it gets busy. Got a newborn, for anybody that doesn't know, 2 weeks old. So, you know, Segovia is busy here now. But I'm up at 3 in the morning getting this video out to you guys. I was feeling the 3 o'clock in the morning right now, and towards the end of the video I was getting a little sleepy, but we're back, y'all. We're back. We're doing daily uploads. I'm thinking on my second channel, y'all, I would love, I don't know if you guys would watch it, but I would love, I used to have a podcast back in the day. I would love to like maybe get questions from you guys, you know, from anything from mental health to sobriety, you know, to relationships, just life, hard times. I know a lot about hard times. I know a lot about mental health. I know a little bit about diet. You know, I've been through a divorce. I'm in a successful relationship now. I've been through it all, y'all. I would like to, you know, maybe take questions from you guys and have like a 30-minute podcast, or just go on there and talk, you know, just things I go through throughout the day, dad life, how it is. You know, let me know down below if you guys would want to see on the second channel. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do over there. It's monetized. I just don't know what I want to do over there. I don't really want to do the TikTok thing. I don't really want to do the long video reactions. I love talking life, y'all. I don't too much because, you know, sometimes people don't want to hear that. But, you know, I feel like how you strengthen your problems, your demons, whatever you want to call them, is talking through it and talking about it. That's how I got so strong with it, is talking about it on that podcast. It would feel like therapy to me, you know. So let me know down below if you guys would like that. If you guys do, my email link is down below. Send me some questions, send me some, you know, topics you want me to talk about, and we'll get going over there, y'all. I would love to do that. So be sure, if you guys got any questions, if you guys, you know, want me to talk about something, anything, sports, you know, things happening in the world, anything, y'all, we'll talk about it over there. And maybe make a little weekly podcast thing over there. We can do daily, or we can do 4 or 5 times a week. Let me know down below. But hey, I got to get going. Baby sounds like he's still asleep, so I might be able to sneak up under them warm covers for a good hour and take a little nap, y'all. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I hope everyone out there has a good Friday. I'm going to see you guys on Saturday for the next one, y'all. Later.